Hey Crushers, Young here, and I'm bringing you a new Crush Them All video. Today's video is going to be a quick startup guide to help you get started playing Crush Them All. Before we get started though, as always, if you have any questions or comments after watching this video, I would encourage you to leave them in the comment section below, or reach out to me through the official Discord, which you can access through the settings of the game located here in the community section. Today's video has once again been sponsored by GameDex.com, that's game-dex.com. GameDex sells board games, and they have some really cool looking stuff on there that a lot of those games we do enjoy playing at home, so you should check them out. I would also ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. That way you can catch all my videos when they come out and stay up to date on all the latest Crush Them All news and information. Now, Crush Them All has a lot of aspects to it, but the aspect you're going to be focused on when you first start playing is going to be staging. You're going to want a team that consists of 5 heroes, one of each element, with staggering prism disbursement. I have done video guides for this, and I'll link the best guide I've made for staging in the description of this video. So check that out to better understand staging, and we can move this video on to our next focus point. The next thing that you're going to want to do after starting to play is you're going to want to join a guild. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but you'll see that you're able to request medals from your guildmates. It is important to note that you do not lose or gain medals by, well, yeah, you do gain, I misspoke, but you don't lose or give your medals specifically while doing this. These are free medals that are generated by the game when you click help. So, making sure that you're requesting and helping is really important for your guild. Knowing what heroes to request may seem tricky, but let's simplify things. First off, Monday through Saturday, you can only request common hero medals. Start by requesting Spike until you get him to 7 stars. Then start requesting medals for Skeleton Giant until you get him to 7 stars. After that, you're probably going to want to focus on Bat, Tiny Dragon, Sprout, or start working on completing a set, like doing all of the light common heroes, and then all of the dark common heroes, and so on, so that you can focus your medals that you earn from the daily dungeon a little bit better. On Sundays, you can request non-event heroes of common, rare, or epic rarity. Always request epics, specifically Onyx and Scud. Take turns working on each to 4 stars, then 5, and then 6. Magic medals are the next focus point of this video. Now, magic medals, you can view the guide. I've made a really detailed guide in the past detailing magic medals extensively, so I'd recommend checking that video out. I've linked it in the description of this, below this video as well. Briefly stated though, just focus on PvP heroes for these. If you're starting, I'd use them to help you get Spike to 7 stars as soon as possible. However, after that, you should switch to strictly rare PvP heroes such as Siegfried or Gladiator. And maybe, something like Mecha Valken as well. In fact, I'd recommend working on those heroes in that order. That's the order that I'll be working on them personally, though I may shift focus away from Mecha Valken when the time comes. And next, let's talk about Awakenings. Once again, I've made a guide in the past regarding this, and I'll drop a link for that below for you as well. I highly recommend focusing on your PvP-centric Crushers and then your PvP heroes first. So namely, start with Furiosa and Atlantis, as these 2 Crushers are both very versatile for both PvP and the guild raid events. Then either start working on awakening your strongest PvP heroes, like Siegfried, or Scud, or even Perato at that point. All of those are going to help you quite a bit. Or you can awaken Sorrow and then focus on your other PvP heroes. That's a solid option for you as well. Either way, there's going to be viable PvP options. Do what works best based on where you're at with your heroes at that point in time. but you'll thank me for this later by focusing on your PvP heroes, because PvP performance and growth is the biggest choke point in the game. As a matter of fact, you'll begin performing better in Arena, meaning more shards, which means more awakens. You'll also start performing better in Blitz, meaning more weapon materials and more medals for great PvP-centric heroes like Vlad. Moving on to dungeons, I'd recommend focusing on the dungeons that will help you get the medals you're needing soonest. Take special note of where you're at with your heroes in terms of the medals, and then, focus on that. Personally, I'm focusing on light dungeons right now, with a secondary focus on Dark and Fire. I do work on Water and Earth dungeons when I'm needing materials for specific artifacts, but outside of that, as soon as I have what I'm needing, I go right back to focusing on my normal dungeons so I can grind for the medals that I'm, specifically focusing on. So pay attention so you can see which dungeons will get you evolutions the soonest, and then outside of that, just do what you're needing to do in order to get the artifacts that you're working on. And now we're going to move on to a bit of a taboo subject. We will now discuss Flooz. Now, everyone has different Flooz income levels based on how many chests you collect while staging and how much money you spend on the game. Let's just assume that you have an average daily Flooz income of 250 Flooz, regardless of how you come into possession of that. I understand that some of you watching this have Flooz incomes both above and below this. However, we're just going to assume 250 because that is the rough average for most players. So 250 Flooz a day times 7 days a week is 1,750 Flooz, which is honestly quite a bit. That's enough for an artifact slot per week until they're maxed, which I don't recommend doing that for most players, but it is enough to get to where you're unlocking tier 3 Crusher chest purchases for every guild raid event, and that's something I do strongly recommend doing. Now you will have excess, which means you can either afford a purchase of a tier 4 Crusher chest once per rotation, or you can spend it elsewhere. I don't recommend spending Flooz to double the Prism bonus when you're ascending. I also don't recommend spending Flooz on Blitz chests unless your Flooz income is far above the 250 daily average that we're discussing here. The exception to the Blitz chest, though, would be Vlad, because it is fairly reasonable to get him to 4 and then 5 stars, and 5 stars is as high as most players would ever need him anyway, and Vlad is arguably one of the very best heroes in the game. Furthermore, I don't recommend spending Flooz on many of the Flooz shop offers, except for Fastlane, Runes, Grow Your Beloved Heroes, and Expeditions. Those are all really solid options. I picked up this one myself, the Grow Your Beloved Heroes. So, make decisions there based on what you're needing. I would not recommend getting these. I did purchase one in my last video, but in hindsight, I do wish that I hadn't. I don't feel like that's a good value. Well, that was lucky. Okay. Now, the Runes Flooz shop offer is debatable, but I myself will be purchasing it, and I feel the value substantiates the cost. So the too long didn't read version to this section is basically spend mainly on Crusher chests. Get enough artifact slots to do what you need to do without getting all of them, and there are a select few Flooz shop offers I jump on when they're in there. If you question whether or not you should make a Flooz shop offer purchase, hop on over to the community either on Reddit or Discord and ask. There's lots of people that tell you right off the bat if it's a good choice to purchase or not. And that's, again, these here that refresh every 2 days. Those are the Flooz shop offers. Okay. And then, besides, on to the next topic here, we're going to shift focus. And besides artifact stones, you're really going to want to focus your arena coins on Dark Hunter. This hero right here, Dark Hunter. I wouldn't recommend using magic medals to earn medals for him. Arena coins and the Sorrow Crusher chest from the Astrolab event should give you plenty of medals for him, and once you have him maxed out, shift focus to Monkey King and then finally to Luca. These heroes are static in the shop, so you can safely focus on grinding medals for them without fear of them being switched out on you. And then another thing that I would like to bring up is that you're going to want to pay attention to the events that are happening. There are ×2 Flooz from chests, ×2 expedition rewards, ×2 prism on ascends, and ×2 dungeon reward events. Make the most of these. You're going to want to do things like save your extra dungeon tickets to use during the ×2 dungeon events so you can get more medals for the heroes that you're working on. Save your time jumps for when you're doing the ×2 prism event, and so on. Maximizing on these events is going to help you succeed, so play it smart so that you can make the most of it. And that is all I have for today's video, Crushers. I do appreciate you watching. I would like to give a special acknowledgement to Monkey, to Pookie, to Raven, Sneakerbase, and to Old Wizard for all of their contributions to today's video, and I would like to thank you for watching and for your continued support. So thank you.